3-string G to D to 3-string E minor to 3-string C. Again, 3-string G to 3-string D, or just D, to 3-string E minor to C. This little chord progression right here is the most popular chord progression in pop music, and you can start playing it today. So I'm going to show you how. Hey everybody, Gary here with Guitar Tricks, and in this video I'm going to share with you the very first chords that you should learn. If you're brand new to guitar and these 6-string chords are just too much for you, that's totally cool. You could start with 3 strings. After all, ukulele only has 4 strings, right? So some of these chords I'm going to show you, you could play as 4-string, some of them you could play as 3-string, but 3 out of 4 of them require either 1 finger or no finger. And they are the first steps in the 4 most popular chords that you'll play on guitar anyway, right? So this is a full G right here. But then if we just look at the top 4 strings, and that's a G, that's a legit G chord, right? And then here's a full 6-string C, but here's just the top 3 strings, still a C chord. And then here's a full 6-string E minor, but here's just the top 3 strings, still an E minor, and then D is D. So D is going to be the hardest one here. There's no getting around D. And then you learn those 4 chords, which together are the most popular 4 chords to put together in the key of G. And then you use a capo to put it in another key. All right, so that's what we're going to go over in this lesson. Before we get into it, please go ahead and click subscribe so that you get all of the latest and greatest content from Guitar Tricks. And if you want to be notified of any new lessons, be sure to also tap the bell and let us know in the comments any future lessons you'd like to see. That's where we're always looking to get new ideas. All right, let's get into it. So in any key, there's 7 chords. So in the key of G, we have G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, F sharp diminished, back to G. But not all of those are as common as others. The most common are the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th, which is G, C, and D. And then also really common is the 6th chord, which is E minor. We're going to learn 1, 4, 5, and 6 in the key of G. Now, when you get a little further in your guitar journey, you're going to realize, oh, chord progressions are just structures that we could apply in any key. That's why a lot of people that play acoustic guitar will just figure out what the chord structure is and use a capo so they can use the key of G chords for any key. So for instance, if I play 1, 4, 5 in the key of G, that's G, C, D. If I put a capo on the 2nd fret, that's actually now A, D, E. But with the capo on, it feels like G, C, D, but it actually sounds like A, D, E. Put that in your back pocket and don't worry about it yet. Let's first just learn how to play G, C, D, E minor, 1, 4, 5, and 6 in the key of G. Day 1 guitar lesson. Here we go. So to play easy G, we just go 3rd finger on the 1st string, counting toes to nose, and then play strings 2 and 3 open. If you hit string 4, it's fine. That's also in the chord. Don't hit string 5. Aim for 1, 2, and 3. If you hit 4, it's okay. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Let's just go to E minor. E minor is just going to be the open strings 1, 2, and 3. Try to only hit those 3. C is going to be 1st fret on the 2nd string, counting toes to nose, and then the surrounding 2 open strings, string 1 and 3. Try not to hit string 4. And now D, make it so it looks like you're watching TV on your hand, like your hand is your iPhone, and you're just watching TV on it. And then curl these fingers like this. And you want to point them straight into the strings. You want them to be perpendicular to the strings like a chair. So like the guitar is the back of the chair and your finger is the seat of the chair. Perpendicular. Pointing straight in. So it's important to have your hand on an angle so that these first two fingers, your first finger is going to be on the second fret of the third string, counting toes to nose, and your second finger, first, second, is going to be on the second fret of the first string, counting toes to nose. Then this third finger is going to come in on the third fret of the second string. So it's important that you have your hand on this angle, or else it's going to be a little weird. So you get on that angle, and you want to always put your fingers as close to the fret wire, not on top of it, but close to it as possible. It makes it easier so you don't have to press as hard. Like that. And there you go. Now, you press down, you grip the guitar. You could just press with your thumb in the backs. I kind of hold the guitar like that. It's called the cowboy grip sometimes. But the most important thing is, whatever you do, you want to allow these fingers to point straight into the notes and make sure none of the fingers are touching adjacent strings. It's such a small margin for error, but you get used to it and it becomes muscle memory. So right now you're just going to have to be really careful, and then eventually you'll just get the feel for it. And this one you could play the fourth string too. All right, so going through those again, we had G, third finger, ring finger, on the third fret of the high E. We had open E minor, which was just the top three strings open. C, first finger, second string, first fret. And then D, first finger on the second fret of the third string, second finger on the second fret of the first string, and then the third finger in between the other two fingers and up one fret on the third fret of the second string. So now what we're going to do is we're going to play a chord progression. I'm going to keep a beat like this. I've got a foot tambourine. And every 4 beats, you're going to change a chord. So you're going to go G, then you're going to switch to D. Then you're going to switch to E minor, just lift your fingers, and then you're going to switch to C. Like that. Use all that in-between time to switch, but try to get the first beat in every grouping of 4 beats. E minor, and then to C. Just so you see what I mean, I'm going to count the beats. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now at this beginner stage, don't worry about letting the chord ring out. Just use the extra time to switch. Then challenge yourself to hold out the chord as long as possible, like this. This would be the extreme. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. See, so I'm not using any time to switch. I'm switching only at the very moment I need to play the next chord. That was bad. I touched adjacent string. You see how that sounded? It got that plinky sound. So that's why you don't want to touch the adjacent strings. The reason is my nail is too long. I don't know if you could see that, but I've been eating a lot of collagen and my nails have been growing fast. So if you have nails, you got to cut them, or else you can't really press straight into the string. The nail is going to push your finger down. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. Now we're going to go to the D. Now we're going to go to the E minor. Just let go, but don't take your hand totally away. And now to the C. Let's do it again. Going back to the G. And now we go to the D. And now we're going to go to the E minor. And now we're going to go to the C. And back to the G. Right? You can start making songs right away. Like, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just started playing guitar today, but already I could play a chord progression, and it goes G to D, and then an E minor and a C, and here I go back to the top, I repeat it again, then a D chord comes, and now I get ready for E minor, oh yeah, and then to a C, right? There we go. Okay, now, of course, after that, you can make these full chords. This could become this. This stays that. This E minor becomes this. And this C becomes this. So in this lesson, I'm not showing you how to do the complete chords, but starting with those simple ones will get you started right away, and then you could expand to the full 6-string chord. Now, I told you, you can play tons of songs like this. So, like I told you, G is 1, D is 5, E minor is 6, C is 4. Go to Wikipedia, type in the pop progression. There will be a list of hundreds of songs that use just 1, 5, 6, 4 in various keys. Okay? Now, if it's in the key of G, you don't need a capo. Let's say it's in the key of A. Well, where is a G relative to an open E string? It's up 3 frets, 1, 2, 3. Now, if something says key of A, now think A is here. So where would I have to put the capo? The capo is going to replace the nut. So I need to put the capo on 2, because now up 3 frets, 1, 2, 3, is an A. So now if I go G, that's really an A. And then if I go, let's say, to D, that's really an E. And then if I go to an E minor, that's really a B minor. And then if I go to a C, that's really a D. So you don't need to know that. Don't worry about that. I mean, you do want to know where do I put the capo to play in this new key. So when you look at that Wikipedia page, if it says key of A, you'll know, okay, so it's as if I'm playing a G chord. Where does the nut need to be? 2nd fret. If it says, let's say, key of B, there's a B, right? So then the capo has to go on the 4th fret, because up 3 frets from the 4th fret is B. So now, all right, so in this lesson, you didn't just learn how to play 4 chords, you really learned how to play 48 chords, because 12 keys, slide that capo, and you've got all those different chords. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you want to learn more about playing guitar, head over to guitartricks.com. You could take a fundamentals course. You could take genre-specific courses like blues, rock, and country. There's a library of song lessons with downloadable tabs, multi-video lessons, jam tracks, all that and more. Happy playing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.